Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, here to talk to you a bit more about the Edge. This is a Kickstarter campaign for a miniatures range by Awaken Realms. It's a painting commission studio based out of Poland who's done a bunch of work for us, and we've been quite happy with it. I've already made a video before about it, but I want to talk a bit more as this is actually a sponsored video by them, as they've painted up some stuff for us in exchange for this advertising, but still, this is pretty cool. I think you should check it out. They've already been funded on the Kickstarter, and there'll be a link in the video description below that you can go and take a look at it. So what is the Edge? The Edge, as I talked about in the last video, is a grim, dark, post-apocalyptic steampunk miniatures game. So it's kind of have the same feel as some other games that we are familiar with, but at the same time they're trying to stand out by focusing on a few different things, actually. I would say that they really focus on trying to make each model just fantastic and having really good sculpts. And as you're watching this video, of course, you're going to be seeing pictures and some little video shots of these models. So you can see that there's basically two factions involved here. There's the chapter faction and the demons factions. In other words, the good versus evil, the quintessential fighting that we see between those two polar opposites. And the chapter faction, of course, is trying to save Earth from the demon invasion that has happened. And these are all, I believe these are all 3D modeled, and then they will be actually, the models will be done in resin. So they will not be metal miniatures, they'll actually be resin miniatures to ensure the highest quality that they can. And what Awaken Realms is really trying to achieve here is not only having fantastic sculpts and really large-scale miniatures that look great on the table, but also trying to create a really good story with immersive lore. And on top of that, creating a really neat and fun game. The game actually focuses around collecting crystals on the table. So you actually need to move around and grab those so you can activate certain abilities that can turn the tide of the game at any moment. And so as these two factions face off, at least the two factions that are starting in the game, they'll be really focused on that table control to try to gain access to all of that. Now in the Kickstarter, there's a few things that you can choose from. There's of course the chapter starter sets for both the demons and the chapter starter set and the demon starter set. And then there's of course a two-player where you can get them both together for a slightly better price. And then there's of course a limited edition, special edition for the Kickstarter. On top of that, we've got access to an exclusive part where there's actually a bonus mercenary miniature that I'm showing right here. And the lore behind this is that he'll actually work for either side. He's come through these portals from somewhere else. So he's not actually from Earth, and he's willing to work for the demons or for the chapter. And so that is if they make their stretch goals for it, because they're really focusing on for their stretch goals at this point. Even though they're fully funded, they're still trying to push it so they can include new poses, new sculpts, new models, and they eventually want to do another faction called the Faceless. So they have a lot of plans that they want to do to kind of take this in the long term. And I believe that they've really proved themselves as a company. It's not just a one-man show, it's actually a good-sized company with a lot of people working for them, as you can find out just by clicking the link in the video description below. So go and check it out. It looks fantastic. It's got a neat feel to the whole thing. And you can even look at them as even proxies for some other models from other ranges that you might already play with as well. So check it out, click the link below, and happy wargaming.